2 years ago, South Florida was the unshakable paradise, a sun-drenched safe haven for Wall Street money and a golden ticket for real estate. Today, it's a pressure cooker of frenzied sales, an insurance nightmare, and a market-defying gravity. The anchor statistic? In Palm Beach County, single-family home sales soared 497.7% in a single month. How did America's ultimate waterfront dream become ground zero for the most volatile real estate market in the country? For decades, South Florida was a quiet success. It was an affordable retirement destination, a spring break novelty, a steady if unspectacular bet. It was Miami's more relaxed, less expensive neighbor. The math was simple. Buy a piece of the waterfront and you owned a slice of a stable, sunny future. Then the migration began. A flood of new arrivals, first from the snowy Northeast, then from finance hubs like Manhattan, seeking sun, space, and no state income tax. They weren't just buying houses. They were buying a lifestyle. The old rules of real estate vanished. Sight-unseen offers became standard. Bidding wars were relentless. As one broker observed on the Intercoastal, the sound of every yacht engine seemed to chant a single mantra: the money, the money, the money. But beneath the surface of this utopian boom, the catalysts of a collapse were already taking root. The first catalyst was a hidden time bomb in every closing document: insurance. Florida faces a dire home insurance crisis, forcing over 500,000 homeowners to rely on the state's insurer of last resort, Citizens. But an alarming disparity was uncovered. A recent legislative push rerouted disputes to a special division, stripping homeowners of their right to a jury trial. The math is blunt. The system is now heavily tilted in favor of the insurer, leaving the homeowner at a drastic disadvantage. The very foundation of property ownership was being undermined. The second catalyst was a classic bubble indicator: addiction to cheap money. For years, mortgage rates hovered around 7%, cooling the frenzy. Then, in September, the Federal Reserve announced a rate cut. It was only 0.25%, but it was a signal. The dam of pent-up demand burst. The numbers tell the story. A 497.7% explosion in Palm Beach, 320.9% in Broward, 118.3% in Miami-Dade. This wasn't organic growth. It was a speculative sugar rush, a market reacting violently to the slightest stimulus. The question is, what happens when the stimulus ends? For people like Mark and Sarah, a young professional couple who moved from Chicago in 2024, this volatility is a personal nightmare. They bought a modest Broward County condo at the peak, reassured by brokers that this was just the beginning. Now they're trapped. Their story is a quiet counterpoint to the boom time headlines. For every record-breaking sale, there's a family like Mark and Sarah's, waiting for answers in a market where certainty is out of reach. To understand the frenzy, you have to look at the epicenter. The numbers in Palm Beach County tell a story of a market unhinged. Single-family homes plus 497.7%. Condominiums plus 603.3%. This isn't just a recovery, it's a vertical line. Analysts call it the release of pent-up demand. But veteran agents describe it as something else: a fear-driven stampede, a final chance to lock in a rate before the window slams shut again. The shockwaves from South Florida's boom are radiating statewide. The insurance crisis crippling homeowners in Fort Lauderdale is the same one devastating residents in Tampa and Orlando. The investor money that flooded into Miami high-rises is the same capital that poured into Jacksonville rental properties. This isn't an isolated event. It's a statewide system under extreme stress, with South Florida as its glittering, precarious apex. So we return to the anchor statistic, a 497.7% monthly surge in home sales, a number that should signal health, but in South Florida signals a market addicted to momentum and vulnerable to shock. The facts reveal a real estate market transformed by an insurance gamble and a rate roller coaster, leaving everyone from first-time buyers to billionaire artists waiting for answers in a landscape where certainty is still out of reach. If you learned something new today, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because here at Goofy Real Talk, we keep it real. No sugarcoating, just facts. See you in the next deep dive.